Cash out. Cash out. Cash out.
Ooh. All right, and we're live. We are live here on TD Talk, another episode of TD Talk. We got your NFL picks parlays, unders, overs, covers, spreads. We got everything you need right now. We got everything. So here on TD Talk, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. This is you already know it's me, Tev here from TD Talk, and then the other T D Dave, my co-host, man. Skis, we call him Skis around my way.
Yo, what up?
What up, Skis? Skis.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yesterday, we did our college little picks, and we saw it was upset Saturday.
Yeah, we actually would have cashed everything. Well, at least I would have if Boston College wouldn't have fell the fuck apart.
Yeah.
We were riding high on Boston College. Lock of the day was Navy.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot. That was a
Navy's been
lot.
rolling. Navy and Army are both 6-0. It's the year of the military college. Can one of them squeak in the playoff? We shall see.
Yeah, we shall. And we spoke about Vandy here. I did say that that Vandy that spread that would just throw the house on it. I should have threw the house on it.
Yeah, that was the biggest. Because, a lot of the favorites had some big spreads, like Ohio State. I think they might have cashed their big spread. It was like 17 something. And then you got Georgia. I think they might have cashed their spread. But we didn't talk about those. We talked about Vandy and Bama, giving Vandy 22, 23 points.
Yep.
And, we should have threw the house on it because they won outright. But
that was
shit. Nobody saw that coming, but damn.
Easy cover. I mean,
we had the cover. We didn't say money line, but we ain't that smart.
Nah. I mean, I don't think nobody saw that.
Nah, but we'll take it because fuck Bama.
We'll take it. I still do got money with my guys that Bama's not going to lose more than 2 games this season.
Yeah,
but it's not looking real good right now.
Yeah, they number 13 at the end of the game. Did you watch it?
No, I watched the last quarter when Bama was about to come back, and then they just couldn't stop Vandy.
Bro, it was like the last drive where Vandy was closing it out to take some knees.
Yeah.
And the number 13 on Bama like shoves the QB's head into the dirt. No flag. And then they come up. He throws his mouthpiece. He's throwing a temper tantrum. And then the ref spots the ball for the kneel. Bro comes up and kicks the ball like some recess shit. Yeah. So they threw a flag on that, and then he was throwing a temper tantrum the whole game. But he was the one getting burnt the whole game, so I don't know who he was mad at.
Probably himself, for that bad performance.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Saban might have told him to book his own flight home, so I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I know Kalen DeBoer, he usually has good, well put together teams. But, in his first season at Washington, we saw he lost 2 games. So, and then the next season he comes back, he goes undefeated. So I still don't see him losing more than
Sam Darnold just threw a big pick.
But yeah, I see that. I still don't see him losing more than 2 games, but we'll see. We'll see how the season plays out.
I tell you what, yesterday bodes well for Boise State to make a run.
Hey, and we put money on the.
We've got money on Boise State winning the Natty.
Yeah, we do. You heard it here first.
Plus 20,000.
You heard it here first. We are taking a shot. Now we're not saying it's a lock. No, by no means, not in no stretch.
But plus 20,000.
Yeah,
and they look like the best team in the league right now.
Right. They look really, really.
I mean, they're only playing their starters in the first half of every game.
Man, and I'm pounding the table on this guy Genty. This guy Genty is different, man. He's different.
And not only Genty, the running backs, they're deep at the running back position.
Yeah.
Because the second string guy comes in, and you might not even bet on Genty because he only plays the first half. He almost hit his 191 in the first half, and then they benched him for the rest of the game. That was it.
Yeah.
He hit 186. So he rushed for 186 and still hit his under.
Yeah, in the in the first half.
In the first half.
3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns.
It's
on
ridiculous.
13 carries.
I mean, he would have went for another over 200-yard game, 6 touchdowns. He would have went for that. But they threw the white flag in on him. I mean, listen, this is the thing. Here's the thing. we like I say, no stretch do we think this is a lock, but I put $10. We put $10 on Boise to win the Natty this year, and I think it's like a $2,000 payout. So if you get time, go look at that national championship odds. The Boise is a really good, shot to win the
Well, my
national
thing is,
championship.
especially with how yesterday looked, with all the big teams falling, like Tennessee, they were ranked like number 4. They lost to Arkansas, who was unranked.
Ridiculous.
Bama losing to Vanderbilt. Then you
Yeah.
got Georgia, didn't look great.
Oh, they didn't.
And then, yeah, I mean, there's a couple other ones too. Miami almost lost. They were top 10.
And
Washington beat Michigan.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
odds were right on that one.
yeah. The odds were right on that one. Which
Let's
I
see,
had Michigan. I had
futures.
Michigan. I had Michigan to win that game last night, and they didn't. But
They still got Boise State at 20K, so.
I'm taking it. I took 10 on it to win $2,000. So let's
I
go,
mean,
boys.
regardless, if they make a run, they might give you a good cash out.
It's true.
Because
It's
if those
very
odds
true.
drop from 20,000, if they beat a good opponent, those odds drop from 20,000 to 5,000, they're going to give you a cash out for it.
Yeah, that's true. You might wind up with like $500 or $600. Even if they get into the playoffs, and
Yep.
now that the odds makers see like, oh wow, they have a chance, to actually do this. They may give you a $500-$600 cash out for $10. So,
I
anyways,
mean, yeah, dive into some NFLs.
yeah, let's jump on into the 1 o'clock slate. 1 o'clock slate. Here we go. Let's start off with first things first. Let's start off with this interesting game here. I really like this matchup. I like this game. Okay, so let's start off with this matchup. Okay, we got. Wait a minute. We'll come back. We'll come back to that one. Let's go to this one first. All right. So I like India. It's the Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville. Okay, Indianapolis Colts are your underdog, plus 3.5. You got minus 110 is the price, and then you got over under 45 minus 110 there, and then plus 160 for the Colts, minus 190 for the Jacksonville Jags. Now listen, okay, Jacksonville Jags are struggling. Okay, they are 0-4 coming into this game. They have been beat, and when I say beat, they've been beat now by a Houston team last week. Which, okay, Houston's a good team. They only lost by 4, but they also lost to Buffalo. And when they lost to Buffalo, it was 47-10. That game wasn't even a game. Matter of fact, Josh Allen, he reemerged in that game as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Then also they got beat by the Browns. We know the Browns aren't packing too much for the punch, and then they got beat by Miami when Tua was still playing for Miami, 17-20. So listen, I get it. Maybe they're due for a win in this game here, but Dave, what do you think?
Jacksonville's coming in 0-4. You mentioned to some tight games. Indy beat the Steelers, but there's a lot of people saying that they Colts offensive line got away with a lot of holding calls. Joe Flacco, I'm never going to bet against Joe Flacco, especially if he's starting, because he's going to run that offense. There's not going to be any trickery going on. He's just going to be sitting on his couch in the backfield just dinking and dunking, looking like what Aaron Rodgers is supposed to look like right now, but he doesn't. So, that being said, I don't know what you were leaning towards. I'm not going to put a bet in on this game because I think it's going to be a tight one. But Jacksonville coming in 0-4 as the favorite. I'd like to take Colts with some points probably.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. Okay, you took the words out of my mouth there. Okay, I like Joe Flacco, man. I'm high
Yeah,
on Joe Flacco
Flacco.
right here, man. Listen, I love Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, what he did last year with those the Cleveland Browns was improbable. And then of course with this Colts team, they're talented, man. They're talented at the running back. They're talented at the wide receiver position. And they're playing this Jacksonville team that, I mean, the coach is on the hot seat. Trevor Lawrence, he's 20 and 30 in his career coming into this season. He hasn't been a winning quarterback. So listen, you put Joe Flacco in there with the Colts, you give him some good pieces. Jacksonville's struggling. I see the Colts here. Give me plus 3.5 on the Colts. Even if they lose, okay, they lose by a field goal, but I don't see them losing by more than that. And I actually see them winning this game.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that slate. I think that's gonna be a really good game. Because I do think Trevor Lawrence, you could probably get some props out of this. You could probably get Trevor Lawrence, over 200, over 220 passing yards. He'll probably be trailing some point in the game, maybe after the second quarter. He'll probably be trailing going into the third, and then he'll have to kind of play catch up. So he'll be throwing the ball a lot. I see, that ticks up the receptions, so you can get some over on some maybe Gabe Davis on receptions. Maybe you can probably get some over, find some over on what's his name? Is it Ridley? No, he's in Titans.
Christian
Well,
Kirk. Christian Kirk was
there,
balling last week.
there you go, there you go. So you probably get some over on receptions. So I kind of see that kind of happening. You could probably get some props in there. I like the over on some of those props as well.
Yep.
All right, so next game. Let's jump on to our next game for the 1 o'clock slate. So here is the thing here. We got two games here. Let's go to the more explosive or exciting one, and then we'll go to I think what will be a game that if you're not a super fan of those teams, you're probably not gonna watch that game. But anyways, let's jump on into this. We got Buffalo versus Houston. I think this is a AFC matchup here that we may see later on in the playoffs. You got uh, +1 on Buffalo, so they are the underdog, but barely. -110 is the price, and then you got over under 47.5, and then +100. So you got even money with Buffalo, and then -120 down there with Houston. Dave?
Yeah, this is a pretty good toss-up game. I think Houston's pretty solid, other than that loss to Minnesota, but Minnesota was pretty hot at the time. All their wins have been close games. First game at Indy, won by 2. Chicago won by 6. Minnesota got blown out, and then Jacksonville won by 4. So Houston knows how to win ball games. Buffalo, not much experience in the tight game window because they squeaked one out, high scoring game week 1 at Arizona,
Yeah.
and then last week they got served
Yeah,
on Sunday night. So
definitely.
it's a good toss up. CJ Stroud. It's a good AFC matchup, and yeah, I think some of the props might be valuable on this one.
Yeah, and here's how I see it, right? You got a Buffalo team that was hot, going into last week. They played a really, 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 really good team in Baltimore, and Baltimore showed up in that game, and Baltimore was at home in that game. So I really feel like, Buffalo is the truth, and Josh Allen is the truth. He really is the biggest part, the MVP of that team. He is the most valuable player. So what I see here, yeah, outside the exception of that Baltimore loss at home, Baltimore was at home. They really couldn't find their footing. I like them. I like Baltimore in this window. You got Arizona Cardinals. Okay, they did squeak out a win, like you said, but they went through Miami. They went through Jacksonville, and when they played Miami, um, the Tua situation happened in that game. So they kind of started with Tua and then kind of finished without him. So yeah, you could probably say that, he probably got out because the quarterback situation was kind of coming out of that game. But then they go into Jacksonville and they demolished them. I mean, they completely demolished them. So I just feel like with this game, Joe Mixon is out. From the sources I've seen, Joe Mixon is out. So the run game is subpar right now. It's not quite uh, where it needs to be in Texas. And it's going to be really relying on CJ Stroud to throw the ball versus Josh Allen to throw the ball. I think Josh Allen will get you some yards on his feet. I think that CJ Stroud will struggle a little bit late in the game throwing that ball. And I really would just put it like this. If you had a 50-50 game in the fourth quarter and you put the ball in Josh Allen hands or you put the ball in CJ Stroud hands, who you going with? So that's how I see this game.
Yeah, I think I'd take the Bills in this matchup just because Texans, like you said, don't have a run game like the Ravens. I mean, they were done from the first play when Derrick Henry took it to the house for 70 something yards. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna be more of a passing game for CJ Stroud. I think they're getting Tank Dell back, so he'll have some weapons. He's got Diggs, Collins, and Dell. So he's
Yeah.
got his trio. So yeah, I think it'll be a tight game, but I think
Play
I'll give the
game.
tip of the cap to the Bills.
Yeah, and I would take this game if I would put it in a parlay. I think I would go plus 3.5. Take the alternate on the Bills just to give them a touchdown type. I mean, a field goal type of a game. That way, if they do lose last minute, it's a 50-50 game. Josh Allen makes a play and then he can't quite get that last touchdown, and then they have to punt it. And Texans drag the clock out and they kick a field goal. I think that plus 3.5 will keep you safe. But I really do see the Bills winning this game. They just got demolished. They're gonna come out here ready to go, ready to play ball. So I like the Bills in this matchup. I really do. All right, let's jump on into this game that more than likely, if you're watching this game, you're a super fan because yeah, this game to me, it's probably not going to turn much eyes. Well, you know what? We'll skip that game. We'll skip that game. Let's go on into the 4 o'clock sleep. All right. So, my guys, my boys, we at home tonight. You know what I'm saying? We at home, Big Washington. You know what I'm saying? We are the favorite. It's crazy. We the favorites. You know what I'm saying? And it's not against a team like the Panthers. You know what I mean? So, we got something. We got something. We got -3, minus 110 is the price under over 44. -10 is the price there, and then minus 160 if you bet with us. Skis, how you feeling?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, definitely rookie of the year.
Mm.
I mean, it's only week 5. But
Yeah,
I
but
mean, if he
he
stays
looked good.
healthy, he's trending up. I mean, he's setting records already, not just for rookies, but for, you know, NFL all time for quarterbacks right now.
Right.
And it's not gimmicky either. Like he's sitting back there throwing the ball, getting yards with his legs when it's appropriate to do so. I wouldn't compare him to RG3 because
No.
I think he's way more talented than RG3 was.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Arm
like
talent
Washington.
too.
I took Washington, and then I think I took Terry McLaurin to get over 40 yards, 40, 50 yards.
That's a good pick. That's a good
Because I
prop.
think they're gonna air it out. This could be it's either gonna be a blowout or it could be a good high scoring game. It's not gonna be a 10-13 game.
No.
So the over at 44, I mean, even if you wanted to bump it down to like a 40, I mean, I would take the over at 44. I'd take Commanders winning it, and I'd take
Yeah.
McLaurin to get some yards.
I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? I might be biased in this take, but I'm going with my guys. You know what I'm saying? Money line, straight up money line. I'm taking my boys. No, I'm not taking that spread. I do think that Jaden Daniels. Just being realistic here, he still is a rookie, so we could see some rookie mistakes here um, coming out of Washington. And also they did get David Njoku back. Deshaun Watson. He's had a couple weeks to kind of get his feet underneath him. And we remember. I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember what Deshaun Watson was, and he could probably tap back in to some of what that was, and it could probably show up today. So. Before we get too confident, I'm gonna just take Washington money line. Maybe they'll squeak out the win. If so, that's okay with me. That's okay with me. Like I say, I'm taking the money line on this one. I'm right there with you with the over 44. I'm taking that as well. I think if Jaden is playing like he played the last couple weeks, he's definitely gonna score more than 20, more than 25 points tonight. So I really like that look um, for over 44, and then Washington on the money line. Okay. All right. Let's look at our next matchup here. So our next matchup, Dave. Um, this matchup, I think you said that you liked this. You liked this matchup a little while ago. Um, and this matchup here is the Giants versus the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so you got +7. Giants are definitely the underdog in this one. They're the away underdog, home favorite on Seattle. Over under 43 and a half. I mean, excuse me, 43 -110. And then you got +260 if you put your money with New York. And then -320 if you got your money on Seattle. Dave, question. Do you see any props here? Do you see any like props that we could be looking out for? Maybe want to put in our parlays for today?
I got Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. He scored 3 last week against the Lions.
Mm,
He's healthy again this week. It opens up their offense when they got Kenneth Walker going because he's been hurt on and off. He's been kind of absent, but when he's in there, they're feeding him and he's scoring. So I like Kenneth Walker to get a touchdown. I also took Seattle in my Survivor League parlay, so I'm gonna be sweating that one a little bit,
yeah,
trying to get the big money. Yeah, Geno Smith looked good against the Lions. That was a good game. And
yeah,
the Lions are a tough team, and that was at Detroit, and they still kept it close. They were still able to move the ball. So yeah, against the Giants, who are trash, that's gonna be, and it's at Seattle, right?
yeah. At Seattle, it's a
Yeah,
hard place to
I think
play.
that's a lock.
That's a lock.
That's
And I don't know about the cover, the picking Seattle for the cover. I picked them last week to cover, and they didn't. They couldn't get that last touchdown and give me a cover. But I'll tell you what, Giants, and hear me out. I'm not too high on Daniel Jones, but last week I think they played the Cowboys. Yeah, they played the Cowboys. He moved the ball well, effectively, um, and he didn't really cover, but it was a push. So here's the thing, though. Daniel Jones, it's hard to lay my money with Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones didn't look bad last week. I don't see him coming out and looking great this week. But I wouldn't be surprised if they covered, that 7 point. It's just me. Now I know that they don't have Malik Neighbors, and if he doesn't play, I don't think he's gonna play. So if he doesn't play, then I could see him getting blown out. But he did look good
Yeah,
last
Neighbors
week.
is
So
out. I think Neighbors was their only weapon that really kept them in the close games the last few weeks. And
oh, he's out.
he's out. He's got a concussion. I think he's out till next week. New concussion
Oh,
protocol has been keeping the boys out for at least 2 weeks, it seems like now.
yeah.
Neighbors is out. They did play the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a liability, so that doesn't impress me that they kept it close on the Cowboys.
That's true. Well, hey, listen.
Seattle's got a good defense. I think they might expose Daniel Jones.
Okay, all right. So, like I say, neighbors not playing. We going with Seattle on the lock. You taking the 7 or you taking money line?
I think I just took money line, but I put it with the Kenneth Walker anytime to kind of boost it up a little bit.
Okay, okay. I like that. All right, I like that. I'll take that. I'm gonna ride with you there, Seattle, and then I'm gonna take the Kenneth Walker. All right. So let's jump on into our next matchup. I'm kind of excited to see this matchup. I like this matchup here. Let's see what we got here. I really think that this one right here is going to be a good one. You got Green Bay, you got -3, and you got -115 is the price on the favorite. And then you got over under 49, -110 either way. -160 is your money line odds. And then you got +140 for your money line on the Rams. If you're going to take the Rams here. Now, I really like this matchup because what we are seeing is Matt Stafford being Matt Stafford. Okay. Even without Puka Nakua, even without Cooper Cup, put them guys to the side, keep them on the sidelines, and Matt Stafford still is playing well. This guy, man, listen, Matt Stafford, he's different, bro. He's just different. And I feel like if Jordan Love comes out and plays like he's supposed to play, then I could see this game going over 42. I don't know about the 49. It is a little high, but I like the alternate at 42, 42 and a half, right around in that ballpark. But I like this game. I'm definitely going to be watching this game. Multi-view, of course. I got to see my Washington Commanders. But I like this game. I really want to see this game. And like I say, I'm taking the over 42 and a half.
Yeah, 42 and a half is a good spot because I think this might be the highest over underline of the week at 49. I haven't really looked at all of them, but 49 jumps out as a high NFL over. That's more of
Yeah,
like a college territory getting into the 50s. So
that's true.
bump it down a touchdown to that 42 and a half. Jordan Love started out slow, trying to get his bearings back in the offense last week, but ended up figuring it out and getting it to a close game against the Vikings when they were getting blown the fuck out off gate. So I like Jordan Love to carry that momentum into this week. And yeah, the Rams, they're going to still put up points. You know, you got that Sean McVay team.
Yeah.
They're still going to figure out how to get, these underrated guys involved. And yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I still like the Packers, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm right there with you. If he plays like he's supposed to play, he should run the score up on that Rams defense. But Matt Stafford is definitely going to keep it close. So he better play like he should. He better play like he needs to play. Jordan Love, he better play like he needs to play because Matt Stafford is going to come for his you know what. All right, so let's jump on into one of our last games on the slate. Actually, we're gonna backtrack. Let's go back to that 4 o'clock hour. I missed a game here that we wanted to really touch on, and we were just talking right before we went live here about this game. You got Arizona Cardinals versus the 49ers. You got +7. The underdog is Arizona. That's -105, a little bit cheaper than the favorite at -7, -115 is your price there on 49ers if you want to take that spread. Over under 49 flat, that's -110, +280, and then -360 for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, again, like this, like the Matt Stafford one, kind of like game in the Jordan Love game, just kind of like this Arizona 49ers game. I think it's going to be tit for tat. Now, do I think it's going to get 49? It's going to go up to 49 points? No, I don't think so. But, I could see it being in the 40 range. So it wouldn't surprise me if it went over 49. We know that the Arizona team is not quite as strong as the 49ers when they're at full strength. But we know Kyler Murray, every so often, he'll come out and rush for, 60 yards and throw for 220, 230. So we don't know if we'll see that Kyler Murray today or we'll see the 2 picks in a game, Kyler Murray, and get shut out like, um, them boys did against Washington. So we don't know.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. San Francisco seems to just control the game no matter what it's looking like. It might look a little boring and slow, but I feel like that Shanahan offense, they can score when they want to. I think Kittle's questionable, which he usually is, but he's a tough guy and he's gonna play through injury. Chill,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that 49ers always seem to have their foot on the necks of opponents. So I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that that the 49ers going to keep the pressure on. They're going to keep the game within their palm and then kind of be able to figure out which way they want to take it. And the other team has to kind of figure out a way to pull off of that that control. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be tough.
I bet their practices all week. They probably got a spy or two on Kyler Murray, and
Yeah,
then got to lock down Marvin Harrison because Marvin Harrison is definitely the weapon for them.
problem.
Um, he looks nasty. Kyler Murray he didn't want to admit it. I think early in the season, he was like, "It's not my job to feed Marvin Harrison," and everybody was like, "Yeah, it is your job because that's kind of your only hope is feeding
Yeah,
that man Marvin Harrison." So I don't know
yeah,
if you want to be stubborn about it, and you're gonna lose. So
yeah. I agree. and as soon as he got him involved, man, he went crazy. So
Yep.
and I think that's the way that they try to do the rookies. Especially the wide receivers. I mean, quarterback a little different because you have the control on the game, but if you're a rookie, and you got a vet at quarterback, they kind of feel like they don't trust you quite yet. They want you to kind of be around in the offense for a little while, but man, these rookies, these young bulls coming into as a wide receiver, man, they can play. They can really play ball.
Yeah, they got the speed for sure. So watch out for Harrison.
Yeah. All right, last game on the slate. It's our prime time game tonight. You got Dallas. You got +2.5 on Dallas. They are the underdog going into Pittsburgh. -2.5 on Pittsburgh. -115 is your price. Under over 44. -110. There is your price either way. -150 on Pittsburgh. +125 if you want to bet the underdog on Dallas. Dave?
So you look at the swap here against the spread. Pittsburgh's 3-1. Dallas is 1-2-1 with that push. And then they're also flopped on the over-unders. Dallas is going to give up some points, but the Steelers haven't really been scoring a lot of points. So it has the potential to be a snooze fest.
Yeah.
I think Dallas is missing a couple guys on defense. I think Parsons might be out. I think both edge rushers might be out for Dallas.
Yep.
Pittsburgh's been finding a way to win. They got good structure down there in Pittsburgh, like we were talking about earlier. The
Yeah.
Jets are lacking that. We were talking about the Jets. They're not a really good program. They don't have structure.
Yeah.
The Steelers, they got a good team. Mike Tomlin's, Hall of Fame head coach. Could be a snooze fest. I like Pittsburgh. I mean, we'll see how our early bets go. I might end up throwing some cash on that game, maybe a little. See how the game starts and throw a live spread during the game.
I agree.
But I like Steelers because Cowboys haven't proven anything other than beating the Giants. So
Yeah. And here I got a little bit of a shocker here. But I think that if you look at this, they got Justin Fields over 184.5 passing yards. See, here's the tough thing, right? The way I see it is Najee Harris hasn't been the best running back, but with Dallas doesn't have a way to stop the run. So what I feel like is if Dallas somehow is able to kind of stop that run, then we could see Justin Fields start to kind of air it out, especially because I do feel like even though they don't have a lot of their pieces, Dallas doesn't have a lot of their pieces. They're going to be able to move the ball. I feel like they're going to be able to move the ball. That's just me. I just feel like Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, and you got CeeDee Lamb. That guy's a problem. So I do feel like it's going to be a big day for CeeDee Lamb. And I feel like if the Pittsburgh Steelers have to play catch up, you could see Justin Fields getting 180, 190 passing yards today, even though that's not usually who he is. I could see them starting to open up that offense for him a little bit.
yeah, and the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, he's due for a breakout game. So might look at him to score a touchdown. He might be like +100 or something.
That's
Look for
their only
CeeDee Lamb
hope.
to break out. I think Brandon Cooks is hurt.
Yeah.
He's got like a leg infection or something, but he's been kind of absent anyways. He's supposed to be in that top 3 receiving talk. They've got a guy, it's like Jalen Naylor, unless I'm tripping.
Well, they got the young guy, the Tolbert guy.
Tolbert, that might be who I'm thinking of, Tolbert. So look for him to break out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a snooze fest, but it could be a classic. We don't really know.
Yeah, I remember that young guy that they picked up off the XFL squad that went crazy last year. I think they still got him on the roster.
Yeah,
What's his name? Turpin?
Turpin. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the kick returner guy. Yeah,
I didn't look for him to stick him in the slot or something and try to get some yards out of him as well. So it should be a good game. I think that the Steelers walk away with it. Like you said, it might be a snooze fest, but I think the Steelers walk away with it. I mean, if you're gonna put the Steelers in a snooze fest, that's the way they play, and I feel like that's their game. So if you put them in a snooze fest, I see them coming away with it over Dallas.
yeah, and something that people overlook on the betting lines. that sometimes I'll pick up if I'm feeling it is those interceptions thrown.
Yeah.
It's usually to throw an interceptions probably like plus 100 or something or minus 100. So you can throw that in a parlay and just hope Dak Prescott throws a fucking stupid pick, and that's really not a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's going to be a good defense. I think they're going to rush him because the Steelers have the better of the two defenses. So I think they're going to get after Dak. I mean, he doesn't
Yep.
really have a lot of places to throw that ball anyway. So, all right. Well, that is, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up with this. Last game on the slate is the Monday night game. Monday night game, Dave, we got the Chiefs. They play tomorrow night. The Chiefs, they actually play your Saints. So tell me who you rolling with on that.
I'm definitely rolling with the Saints. I think they get the ball moving against the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't look great. They really haven't looked great all year, but they are the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So they're gonna find a way to win. They're gonna be annoying the way they play the game. They're not gonna be super dominant, especially this early in the season. They're just gonna find a way to win, and then the next day you're gonna have a lot of social media ref talk. Chiefs MVP wearing the stripes. You know that's just the it's just the reality of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs are missing a lot of weapons. They just lost Rasheed Rice. Um, they got Kelsey going last week, but it was still kind of a boring game against the Chargers. Nothing really stood out, you know. Like they had the win. The Chargers came out hot and then plateaued. I think the
Yeah.
Saints get it going again. I think they got to feed their guys. They got to get a good offensive line going to protect Carr. I mean, the Saints were just a couple fucking Rashid Shaheed bombs away from winning that game last week. So
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well take the Saints points because I don't see the Chiefs blowing them out. But yeah, I think I'll take money line. I'm not putting my bets in tonight or today because I think they'll come out with some Monday night football prop boosts. You
Yeah.
know, give you some value on your picks.
Yeah.
But a couple picks I like. I'm gonna take the Saints, maybe with some points, maybe money line. See how the line moves, and then I'm gonna take Kamara rushing plus receiving yards. I think 100.
Okay.
Kamara's leading the league for running backs right now. Maybe
Yeah.
not rushing yards specifically, but he's leading from yards from scrimmage. So
Yeah.
I like rushing and receiving yards for Kamara. They're gonna have to lock him down, and then that'll open up Olave, Shaheed. It'll open up, some tight end work. Foster Moreau might get in there, and then Taysom Hill's out, so that's a tough blow. But yeah, I like the Saints. I'm still high on the Saints. They've had a rough couple weeks, but I'm still high on them.
Yeah. And then on that game too, I would look for this look for the prop for Kareem Hunt. I think you should take the over on that one. I think he's going to start to get back into the rhythm of that playbook. He looked good last week with only a week of practice, so he looks in shape. He looks like he's been staying in shape. And then another week of practice with the Chiefs and Andy Reid having to kind of use him a little bit more because the wide receiver game hasn't quite fully developed. I think you should see a good amount of touches from Kareem Hunt and look for him either to score a touchdown or to go over that rushing line for him.
Yeah, they had a rookie Carson Steele was their running back, came in, put the ball on the turf 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna fly in Andy Reid's offense. He's not gonna let you touch the rock after that. So I don't know if he might get a couple touches. But Kareem Hunt's definitely gonna dominate the backfield. I haven't looked at it, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire's been on like a mental health hiatus, so I don't know if he's coming back.
Mm.
Um, if Edwards-Helaire comes back, look for Edwards-Helaire to get mixed in that offense, especially coming out of the backfield on some swing passes, screens. But yeah, Kareem Hunt, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. This is week 5. You know what I'm saying? We gave you some picks, some parlays. So y'all go down to our Instagram page. You know, we live right now on YouTube. We live on Twitter. We live on Twitch. Go follow us on our Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Go follow us on our YouTube page, td.talk on Instagram, TD Talk on YouTube. YouTube, we got all our previous picks, you know what I mean? So you can guys go back and look at what we call. But yeah, from week to week, we're going to give you all these fresh picks. We're going to keep keep y'all up to date what's going on in the league and where we think that the ball will fall on the college football and the NFL regular season. Okay. All right. So also we will be coming out soon with some MLB picks. You know, now that we have postseason in full effect, we're coming out with some MLB picks as well. But yeah, this is TD Talk. Dave, what you got for the people?
I got one last alibi for the Sunday slate. That man, Derrick Henry. I got him 80 yards and a touchdown.
Ooh,
That might be my lock of the week.
a touchdown for Derrick Henry against the Bengals. All right.
Against the Bengals.
All right. This is TD Talk. See y'all.